Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and this is WP Blab. It is 7:30 Pacific. Bridget, how are you doing today?
It is day 3 of my brand new job.
Woo! I'm so excited for you.
I am so excited for me too.
Bridget, tell us what you're doing now for your day job. For your
I am the marketing manager at WordPress, a San Diego-based WordPress shop that builds plugins like Give
Yes, Give's awesome.
and Maps Builder Pro.
You're becoming like an expert in understanding how all these products could potentially work, right?
I'm getting there. I mean, I've been tweeting for them for a while, and I've been a contributor to the blog for a while, since May this year.
But now you're officially working under a WordPress thing. So all these WordPressy things that you're doing are like legitimately all about WordPress now.
Yeah, it's really cool that I don't have to work and then come home and work again. That's kind of cool. Just one job.
And you were giving to the community. You're putting effort into the community before you even started doing WordPress stuff now. Because look.
Yeah, but that's kind of what happened to me, vice versa. You know, it's funny because Sarah Pressler gave this talk at WordCamp LAX and actually at Portland about growing your career with WordPress. You don't have to be a hardcore coder for WordPress to influence the direction or trajectory of your career. And I just was so excited about being at WordCamp. You know, if you go to a social media conference, one, you know, from San Diego or something, it's pretty famous, but it's like a mortgage payment, okay? So you go to WordCamp and it's $40. There's just no, and that includes lunch. So even if it was a total bust, you got a t-shirt and 2 meals. That's definitely worth $40. I was surprised, but I can definitely say that WordCamp changed my life forever. And so I will always be that person who won't shut up about how important it is to go, even if you don't know a single thing, which is who I was in 2013 when I went to WordCamp Orange County. And then I was just like, this is so cool. Look at all the stuff you can learn for just a ridiculously low price.
Oh, yeah.
That because it's so heavily sponsored, there's no it's a very low access gateway, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of conferences, just any kind of conference, is very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to travel to Philadelphia and you go to WordCamp, and you got to pay for airfare and your lodging and all this, but I'm just low barrier to entry. Thank you, Jacob.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Those were the words I was searching for. Yeah, I write for a living. So anyway.
You'll have to write 140 words. That's all I can say. Or letters, rather.
Well, I mean, you know, there's a lot of content, but I'm not talking it live. You know, I go backspace. I would say I'm speaking it live. You know, but no, because of the barrier of entry being so low, anybody could just go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And then when I decided that I needed to shift my career, I said that was why I decided to make my website, bridgetwiller.com, on a self-hosted WordPress site. And I said, you know what? This blog is going to be my resume. Seriously.
It should be.
And I'm going to write and write and write until somebody notices me. And that's what happened. So it was a good strategy because it worked for me. But I wasn't thinking about working for a WordPress place.
Right.
That wasn't ever, you know, I applied to work at Buffer, which I'm glad I did because I read some books they wanted me to read. I read Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh and cried because I didn't know that people could be happy when they work.
Oh, wow.
It was great.
I love my job.
Yeah, I know. That's what I keep hearing from people. I go, what? You mean you just have a job so you could pay rent?
So what was that book? The book name again?
It's called Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh. Hsieh. He is the CEO of Zappos, and he tells his story about how they made company culture before company culture was the thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. But anyway, you had to read that. So I listened to it on Audible in order to apply. And once I did that, so I'm like eternally grateful to Buffer actually for me not fitting into their, dodecahedron hole is what they said in the email. Because they were looking for a specific fit. But if they had hired me, I never would have found Matt, Devin, and Jason at WordPress. And I can't believe just how awesome it is. It's kind of hard. It's actually a little bit surreal. So I'm very happy. It's super exciting. But no, I mean, that I believe in the power of blogging because this resumes are so pointless. People just lie. If you want to see what people's capabilities are, just read their blogs, or your blog for a content marketer, for a social media manager, which is what I was just looking for, just to do social media for somebody. The blog tells, having that platform helps you position yourself as an expert.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really why I came to WordPress, just for that. That's it. Just so I could learn how to use the actual platform to help my career. I wasn't even looking to work in a WordPress industry. I just fell it. See, I was thinking about it today. Like, WordPress means friends.
Totally true.
They talk about the community. Right. I just don't like that word. So like, I wish it's got a bad flavor for me. But I can't believe how many cool people you meet.
Oh yeah.
People ever that aren't all snobby or inaccessible, or you never really have to worry about somebody being super inauthentic or really jerky or snake oily, or I don't see a lot of car salesman kind of people.
Well, there.
I mean, there's always going to be that.
There are them, but what's funny is they stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, they would.
Walking in, you're just like, it's like you can not smell them, but like you can feel this whoa, what is going on in this? And it's weird because you can even tell when someone's do a presentation on something, and they didn't vet them very well, so they're up there and they're like, so here's my product. See this product? It's the greatest product ever. And they just it just keeps showing up in the back of the the screen. You're just like, oh my goodness,
so product placement.
I get that you make the thing, but tell me why I should buy it, and not only buy it, but why should other people in this room buy it? It's like, and then tell me what problems is it solving and what this and that. And it's like they don't do any of that. There's it's $14.99. You should buy it.
It's like
oh my gosh.
I used to watch this show called The Glades. And the girl started driving a Kia Sorento or something.
Right.
And then they get in the car, and I'm like, oh, nice way to work that in the dialogue, because they're not in a steamy relationship or anything. They're going to stop in the middle of this super romantic moment, talk about the features of the Kia Sorento. And look, it has a 5-disc CD changer or whatever.
You're like, oh, come on.
I mean, have the car, we can see the Kia logo. We get it. Okay. It's a Kia Sorento, but trying to work the features of a car into a dialogue in between a really kind of, friction, sexual tension kind of a moment with two people that maybe might start dating just doesn't work. And so it sticks out like that. But, so anyway, that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what type of stuff are you doing for them? Just writing, social media?
So far, I have 3. I handle all 3 of their Twitter accounts, their house accounts.
Awesome.
And I got their Facebook pages.
Nice.
And when they get back from WordCamp, I'll talk them into some other stuff.
I need all my tools.
I want Instagram. And LinkedIn, obviously. I want to take over the social space, of course.
Sure.
But I write for them too. Content is a big part of the strategy, because just think about it. So you have a Twitter account, and that's awesome. And it's great to make friends, but you also need to send them somewhere.
Right.
So this is why we have WordPress blogs,
Yep.
websites, and content. And so it's the content with the social and the relationship marketing, and I'm sure there'll be other things in the works or whatever like that. And I'm still doing the normal people awesome plugins series. So
That's cool.
I'm open to suggestions for plugins to review and test out, and it's exciting. Yeah.
So one of the things I noticed that you did, and I don't know if you did this intentionally, I don't know if they were like trying to figure out if you were a great writer or whatever, but you started guest blogging for them and writing some stuff. So have you done that for anybody else? Because I've done that for one other brand where they weren't very like kind of high end in the type of stuff that they're doing, so they wanted me to kind of fill in that position. So I started writing a few little blog posts here and there to kind of describe some of the more higher in-depth type things that I know that they didn't know.
Well, guest blogging is a good strategy anyway for a lot of reasons, especially if somebody has more social influence than you, or if you just need a break. I did guest blog for Digsy. Digsy is an app for finding commercial real estate, and Andrew Bermudez is the that's the startup. It's from Orange County. So I wrote a blog post about that because I was in construction. That was a while back.
Oh, okay.
But the WordPress people found me from the blog post that I wrote after I built my first 2 WordPress websites. Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Oh, wow, we really like this. We really like the way you write." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I was just telling you my story of how I was crying and tweeting. And I was like, I still have PTSD or whatever, right?
Right.
And so they're like, "Well, we think you could write and test plugins for us." And I was like, "I think you have me confused with somebody who knows what they're doing."
But you said the same thing to me when I asked you to do this show with me, and you're like, "I don't know anything about WordPress. I have a blog, and I barely have a WordPress.com blog, and I have WordPress.org. Like, I don't know. I barely know what that means."
Yeah, it's I guess I know more than I think I know.
Exactly. And the thing is that you're not an expert at WordPress. And
no.
You don't need to be right now.
Yeah.
But you are an expert in very specific things that relate to it, which is great, which is, it's that imposter syndrome type of thing where you don't want to be, "Oh, I don't know anything about this stuff."
Oh, big time.
Kind of lift yourself up a little bit and be like, "Okay, I can."
Yeah, I kind of had a breakdown this morning. We're not really telling people about that, but
well, you are now.
That's what I mean. I'm just saying, like, let's keep it real, right?
Right.
It's always been real. But the thing is, like, that happens to us all, right? And this is a totally new thing for me. And so when social media is very forgiving, and so that's but I know that Chris Lemma wrote a really great blog post about imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah, and he talks on it.
And I've read it, and I know that everybody thinks that I'm awesome, but it's just you have those moments where you're like, "Oh my God, that dog is going to move the curtain," right? And they're all going to figure out that I'm not the great and powerful Oz.
Well, here's the thing: is you're not running around telling people that you are.
No, I'm not. On purpose.
That's the whole key. Well, but that's the whole imposter syndrome thing. And Driving Mall saying that, he's like, "Fake it till you make it." That's actually the wrong way to go about it. I like, to kind of bring this into a WordPress type of thing. Before this, before I was working at a church and doing IT, doing web and all that stuff, I was running my own, web development agency. And one of the things I really wanted to make sure I told people was, here's the things I do know, and here's the things I don't know.
Yeah.
And also, here's the partners that I work with that show me and can help me get you to where you need to be. So if you're very honest about it, and you don't just go and say like, "Oh yeah, I can build an e-commerce solution that uses do." No, don't do that. Just say, "Look, I've never done that before, but I can definitely do this, this, and this." Yeah. And if it fits, cool. If they want to risk it because they like your personality and the things that you're able to produce, then maybe they'll pay you to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Most clients won't do that
Right.
because they just want you to be an expert at what you do and be able to knock it out, which is why you want to, hook up with another developer, designer, or whatever. Like, I'll tell people straight up, I am not a designer. I don't design. Don't hire me to design stuff. I'll pick a color, I'll maybe pick a border, and then I'll slap it onto the website. You want a header? Well, we're gonna have to figure something out here. Like, that is not in my wheelhouse, not my skill set at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imposter syndrome is both sides of it. It's both making sure that you're explaining to people what you can do, and also being very confident in what you can do.
Oh yeah. I'm trying not to be like that, but it's very easy for me to go, oh my gosh, you don't even know what you're talking about. But so, I'm working on that part. But one of my favorite things that I've discovered just hanging out with WordPress people last year or so, especially 2015,
Right.
is the collaborative nature that most people have.
Yep.
And I originally went to college to be a teacher. So of course I love the learning and the exploring and the brainstorming and what if we try this and what if we try that, and well, that didn't work, well, let's just try. There's not like this we're going to hang you because you made one mistake kind of a mentality, like in a lot of the business world. It's a little different. So the demographic is more willing to experiment, I think, and learn from each other.
Yep.
Which makes it a better place,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the Emerald City. It's awesome.
That's great. I love, as soon as that was last episode or 2 episodes ago, we were talking about this and you're like, oh, I'm kind of working on this and this was going to happen. I'm like, oh, that's great. And then, I didn't want to ask you anything. I just, you don't want to kind of mess stuff up by asking the wrong questions. So I was like, I'll just let her do her thing. So I'm happy for you. I'm glad that this works out. And this also legitimizes the fact that I can have you on a show like this and we can talk about WordPress stuff and you're not going to be like, I don't know anything about WordPress. So you know what? Your bosses are watching this and you do know things about WordPress.
That's true.
So did you by chance watch episode number 164 of WPwatercooler this week on Monday?
Matt Mullenweg?
Yeah, we had Matt Mullenweg on. How crazy was that, right?
Soothing voice.
That's what Say said. She's like, Ira Glass and him need to get together and do a podcast.
I enjoyed it, and it was really interesting because he didn't really get thrown off by you guys and your kind of high energy ness. But it kind of, I don't know if I should say this, but it was funny because people are like, WordPress is a cult. I'm like, this guy's the perfect cult leader, right? Because he has that just very calming presence, such a soothing voice. I totally I pictured him in the Portlandia episode about the organic chicken farm. And but I love that the other contributors to Calypso were on too.
Yep.
And it was interesting that they were like, wait a second, we're just trying this. That's kind of where but I go, see, it comes from the top. The guy's just like, we're just testing this out. Sure, we spent 3 years working on it, but we're just testing it out. I mean, it's not like, oh, we spent 3 years and X amount of dollars, and by God, this thing's gonna work, or I'm gonna make it work. There's not that attitude. There's like, hey, we're just gonna try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll just scrap it. It's not a big deal. The world isn't ending, people. Just chill out. But he said it in such a very calm, just totally zen way. I was like, okay, no wonder why people really like this guy.
Oh yeah, no,
it was cool. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys got Photo Man on Watercooler. You made it.
And he hopped in, kind of. We were shooting for getting him on the show, and then it just ended up working out. He pops in about right before my intro, and I'm like, all right, Matt, have at it. And we've tried to get him on a few other times, and we weren't very good at talking to the right people and whatever. And Steve Zenga just tore it up and just made it happen. So
it was awesome.
It was
a really good one.
Well, Calypso's huge. If you haven't downloaded it yet,
I haven't yet, but I've seen people use it.
yeah, if you haven't downloaded it yet, you should definitely go download it and check it out.
Does it only work with .com
No, it
sites
does
now,
not.
or is it a Jetpack integration?
It's a Jetpack for right now. It's a Jetpack setup. So if you have
Okay.
Jetpack installed or any of
Yeah,
your sites with
then you're
Jetpack
good.
installed, as long as it's been hooked into your account, it will to your WordPress.com or WordPress account. What it does is it'll let you be able to see all of the different sites that you have on your Jetpack account, and then be able to interact with them. It doesn't have everything. Like the version that I was running, which I haven't ran the most recent version because they did an update. It has the ability to, or didn't have the ability to make changes to custom post types. So to like, if you have like a products page or a whatever page, you won't be able to add new posts to those. So it's just like posts and pages, and that was it. But
would it be a replacement for Managed WP?
No, this is definitely like a front end editor. It's
like,
you want to make changes to your site? This is it.
An alternate to the dashboard.
It's an alternate to the dashboard
for people that might kind of freak out because it looks a little codey.
Right, which I'd imagine, just based on what I know about Devin and how Devin does stuff, you guys will probably have a plugin for this or some type of integration for something, or I don't know. He'll make it so you can order pizza with it or whatever. The guy's crazy. So he'll end up with something that uses this and makes magic happen. So
yeah. But
yeah, definitely go download that. I posted it in the show notes. You can go check that out.
Because that's been kind of an issue with gaining WordPress people, right? Because in my meetup, this one lady was using Wix, and she asked us last week, well, what if I want to switch over? What do I need to do? And they're like, get a dev. But so if it's more,
it's a program,
like the UI or whatever. Yeah. If the user interface is more, or what I should say, less scary looking to non-techie people who, quote unquote, just want to add their content.
Right.
Then maybe you could get a better conversion rate for WordPress. Because Wix was advertising on your WP your water cooler show. Yep. You have like this rock solid marketing, and people are just converting to it. Like,
well, WordPress itself hasn't had that Super Bowl moment yet. They haven't done a Super Bowl ad. They haven't done a something else ad. They haven't done any of those types of ads. There's no like ads before like Family Guy or ads before like, I don't know, some show that's on TV. They don't do any of that stuff. Where Wix and Squarespace and all these other guys, which they sponsor podcasts and stuff. Yeah, Squarespace is huge on podcasts.
Oh, right, because Leah Laporte.
Right. Oh, yeah, they're all about that stuff.
Leah Laporte was
people are like, oh, so you should start doing sponsorships. I'm like, what? Squarespace ads? Like, no. I'm not doing a Squarespace ad on a WordPress podcast.
That would be a little ironic, wouldn't it?
Right, exactly. So
car salesman-y.
So the main thing about Calypso that kind of got a couple people mad on Watercooler, especially was that the requirement to be able to do any type of development work in it is you have to be able to write really great JavaScript. And it's a JavaScript heavy, it's all JavaScript. And if you're not a JavaScript developer, WordPress is built in PHP. Like that's its programming language.
Okay.
And so since WordPress is built on PHP and there's a little bit of JavaScript here and there, because Jacob's a huge JavaScript fan. But over in the notes here, over in the messages, he's talking about it. So if you're not a JavaScript developer, it's gonna make it really difficult. Now, for someone like you who's not a developer, it doesn't matter. It's just it's an icon on your desktop. It's something on your dock. You double click on it. It loads up this thing called WordPress desktop, codename Calypso, and it just loads up, and you just make changes to your blog, and you're done. But for someone like me or someone like or somebody like any of the other people that are on the show that are developers, it's yet another thing we have to really get good at and really be able to start, writing in that language in order to be able to make this thing do backflips like we do with WordPress.
Oh.
So fun stuff.
So if they were mutually exclusive, it would be a problem. But if they're concurrent.
Yeah, well, with this, you have to know JavaScript. Like there's no PHP to it. It's just all 100% JavaScript. So yeah, I know it probably went over a lot of people's heads, but the cool part about this is if you have a WordPress.com site and a WordPress.org, so something you pay a hosting company for, and then somebody that's hosted through a WordPress.com site, you can modify and make changes to both of those sites, making updates to your blogs, whatever, and be able to switch between them. It's really freaking cool. So go check it out.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, go over to the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. I think it's that way. I don't know. Mirrored images.
They're appearing on both sides.
They're on both sides. So
yeah.
If you go over there and type /Q space and then your question, we'll answer your WordPress question. If you don't have a WordPress question, you just want to hang out, then feel free to go and click on the little open seat button on the bottom of the screen here, and you can jump in. If you're watching this a week later, I'm so sorry. Don't click on the bottom there. You might click on an ad, and it might make about 8 cents if you click on it. So
we do have a couple of questions from
you have a couple questions?
Hashtag.
Do you want to
Yeah, I'll tell you. Stacy is asking what the best way is to learn how to optimize SEO using the Yoast. She's using Yoast right now.
Yeah.
But she still was kind of curious.
Well, I'll say the first thing to do is to update Yoast, because Yoast recently went through a little bit of problems there. So make sure you go and do an update to Yoast SEO, and ways to optimize SEO using that plugin. I mean, that plugin itself is an SEO optimization as it is. So mainly fill out all the boxes. If there's an empty box, figure out what you're supposed to put in there. Let me pull up my site real quick here, and I will kind of go through a few of the things that you can do. I'm not going to pull up on the screen because you're not going to be able to see anything, and Blab's not cool about the whole being able to make it so I can see what's on my screen or none of that sort of thing. So let me just get logged in real quick here, and I'll kind of walk through a few things. So,
but also you write in the box that it puts in the editor. You put that information in yourself.
Yes.
It's not telling you, oh wow, what a great blog post that you wrote, Stacy. These should be your keywords. It doesn't do that. So what I keep hearing a lot of is long tail keywords, meaning 3 or 4 words. How do you optimize your blog post, or optimizing your blog post with Yoast, or how to fill cracks in concrete panels? Something long, and more specific is gonna be, as long as you discuss it in your blog post, is gonna help. But you are deciding those. You're deciding those keywords for. Oh my gosh, Adam Silver's watching on the airplane. On the way to WordCamp US.
Oh no! Check this out. This guy is gonna hop on from.
No way!
We live in the future, friends. We live in the future, my friends. We live in the future.
You're gonna get busted by the stewardess lady.
We just landed.
Oh, okay. I don't think you're ever called stewardesses anymore.
Yeah,
flight attendant
or something.
Oh my gosh, Adam Silver just landed in Philly. That's
Good
awesome.
job, Adam.
WordCamp US.
See you guys later.
See you later. If you haven't watched Kitchen Sink WP, make sure you go over there and check that out over on his website. He does amazing stuffs every week.
That's
check it out.
Cool.
Week 93 coming up Monday.
Woohoo!
Nice. It's almost 100.
Nice.
Gotta go.
All right.
Goodbye.
See you later. You have a good time. So that right there is like a perfect example of someone going off to a WordCamp and having a great time at it. And the guy's from Southern California, and he's flying all the way over to Philly to consume all the goodness that is a WordCamp. So let's get back to the question at hand real quick here regarding SEO and stuff. So when you're in your post editing screen and you're writing a post or you're editing a post, there's a couple different things in there. There's one where you have the title of the actual post that you can make changes to. Now, the thing is that when you're doing any of this sort of stuff, you're actually making the changes to the post. Like the post title is at the very top of the screen. So you can go and type in that. And that's the post title that shows up on the website. But if you scroll down a little bit and go over to the Yoast SEO meta box, that box that's movable and stuff, if you go there, the one thing I didn't notice until actually one of my clients was like, hey, so I figured out how to make changes to the SEO title and the SEO description. I was like, really? How do you do that? If you actually click on the thing, it shows up blue, and if you click on it, it'll let you edit it. Now, before it used to be just a box, and it was
different box.
Yeah, and now they made it so it's all kind of integrated in a way. It's a little annoying, but they did that. Over on the left-hand side, there's this 3 buttons thing, or 3 little dots, which are like connecting dots. That's like the social media icon. If you click on that, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there for updating your title and your description, and then your Facebook image thing. Now, one thing about all this is once you've posted this, let's say that you went and tested this site a couple times, maybe even posted it on Facebook, and then you went and made a change on Facebook, you made a change in Yoast, and now you want to kind of tell Facebook, hey, Facebook, I made changes to my site. Any shares that I do going forward, please, use the latest information. So here's a kind of a little bit of a pro tip. There's a site called developers.facebook.com/tools/debug. Throw that into your bookmarks and just I call it debugger, and it has a Facebook
that's what
icon.
It's called.
I click on that guy, debugger. I paste in the link, and I'm done.
Yes, sure and then when you go on your Facebook, if you already posted it, then you need to go to that exact permalink. If you click on the date and the time to make sure you're on that exact post, you click on the little arrow thing that's in super light gray, nobody can read, and then the drop-down menu comes, and you can refresh share attachment.
I did not know about that.
Very important stuff.
How did you do that?
Oh, because, I'm trying not to tell people that I'm a nerd. I'm trying to keep my noob street cred.
Bridget.
Yeah, the debugger, I use that every day almost.
Okay, so I thought I was all, I know this thing. And then you're like, oh, and by the way, there's this freaking update edit button thingy. What's it called? It's
called refresh share attachment.
That is so cool.
Yeah, like if you have a spelling mistake on or you'd want to change your image, or you forgot to change the actual description that shows up in the box below your featured image, but you already shared it. So if you already shared it, and then you go to Facebook, and then you click fetch new scrape information on the debugger tool, then you've got to go back. You either have to delete it, or you have to go back and click that little arrow. It's not even really an arrow.
It's a correct or downwards correct caret, depending on where part of the country you're from.
Facebook should make those things more obvious for people that can't see.
So I don't see that thing here.
You have to be on the exact. You have to be on the exact permalink, and it has to be something that is a rich. It can't just be whatever. It has to be something that's a rich thing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really helpful because, there's a meme that goes around that says, I do my best editing after I click publish. That's like the story of my life. It's only really bad if you're syndicated. Otherwise, so you figure these things out.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not as easy for Twitter if you did that. Mm-hmm. For Twitter, you have to reshare it with Bitly and then wait few hours.
Oh, okay.
There's no debugger tool like there is for Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, hi Stacy. So we just answered your question.
You're gonna have to go back and listen to it again. Well, I will say, you had the Facebook thing. You also have the Twitter titles and descriptions and images, and then you have something called Google Plus. You can go and make changes to that too. But yeah, go through that. Update your focus keyword just so you can make sure that your focus keyword is being used in all the different places.
Yep.
That doesn't do anything other than just do a search real quick. It lights up all the little lights below it and says, "Oh, here's your focus keyword, the number of times you mentioned the word, blah blah blah." If you pay for the premium version of it, you can actually add additional focus keywords. But I don't know what else it does other than that. I mean, can't you just type in the focus keyword like a second?
The new Yoast does more of a live check-in. You don't always have to click update. And WGP7110 is correct in the chat. If you use your H1 and H2 tags, that's something that Google uses when it's, spiders your site or whatever it's called, when they crawl through it to see what's important. So Buffer actually wrote a blog post about the best way to do this. And what they do is they do tag stacking. So they'll make the blog title, of course, and then they'll say, Jason Tucker is awesome in an H1 tag, and an H2 tag is, and Bridget Willard is awesome too, and then the paragraph. So if you thought of like an outline when you were in 8th grade, where there's the first thing and then the second thing, and then everything below that supports those 2 points, and then you do that again, then you do that again. So if you use H1 and H2 throughout your post, those things are viewed more importantly when Google crawls your site. And Google Plus is not dead. They just redid their app, and it is the best or the closest thing there is to a shortcut to SEO. Yeah. So I recommend either auto posting to Google Plus or going over there and posting on Google Plus, because last I checked, if you Google what is WordCamp, my blog post comes up on the first page.
Check
in an
you out.
incognito. And I'm nobody. I'm not going to be able to stay that very long. I know everybody thinks I'm a rising star. But I'm just saying, Google Plus is the only thing that makes sense, because I don't have like a lot of subscribers. So you have WordCamp Central, you have Now Flores, and then my post is there. And I swear by it. It's not about me, but I'm saying, try it out and then see if it works, because I think you'll like it.
Bridget, how much does it cost to try that out?
Google Plus, 15 minutes. And then, but remember, you can automatically share in the WordPress dashboard. You don't need a plugin for that. Yeah. You can set it up to automatically share to Google Plus.
Yeah.
So in theory, you could be a totally unsocial Google Plus person who just posts automatically without ever going there.
Yeah.
And it's still going to help you. It's major, major SEO juice, because Google owns it, so they're biased. So if you use the Yoast, if you think about what they should be long tail keywords, and then if you use your H1 and H2 tags and then put it on Google Plus, bet you'll be on page 1 or 2 within 2 weeks.
Or your money back.
Because it's a free money back guarantee. But wait, there's more. So search.
Yeah.
Do a search first.
Right.
Because I made the mistake in my famous epoxy injection example. Nobody knows what epoxy injection is.
Right.
So if you say the process of epoxy injection, that means nothing to anybody. Maybe they're thinking about a Botox. Okay, it has no meaning. But if you say how to fix cracks in concrete panels, that's what somebody's going to type when they're looking. So try to reverse engineer the search when you write. What are people going to be asking? What is the question? Just like 8th grade essays.
Right.
What is your thesis? What point are you trying to make? And then make that into a question. Type that in. and use those words, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So kind of a segue question was from Iris about our opinions on the video Yoast plugin.
Oh, the video one. Okay.
Yeah, that was the next one that we had in our queue of hashtag Ask WP Blab questions. You keep asking questions, we'll keep giving you really long tail answers.
Well, I had to go through and update the topic here real quick.
Well, it worked. We got on the first page, so I'm just saying.
Yes,
but think about it. The moral to the story is this.
Yeah.
Don't use jargon unless the jargon is well known.
Right.
Well known enough, right? So think like Yoda. Ask a question. Figure out how it's going to be. Asked. How are people going to find you? And then write that.
Good stuff. So, the video SEO thing, I guess swore that some of that went away. Like there was some type of change with that or something like that.
I only had the free one.
Yeah, because I used to use it for something here. If I remember right,
Plus, you and I always put our videos on YouTube.
Right.
So you put all the keywords in there.
Yeah.
YouTube is the number 2 search engine on this planet.
$69 for it.
Wow.
That's
so that must be for
that's a lot of coffees right there.
Video hosted on your site.
Yeah.
Which we're not recommending, right? Because of speed and stuff.
No, I don't think that's it. I think it's something else to this. Let me go through here. Oh, that's what it is. It's for optimizing what it does is it takes the Yep. Now I remember. Okay. So what it does is it takes, you know how you have like the image from like the featured image within your WordPress post? Well, what it does is it takes the video instead of the featured image, it takes the video and uses that as the featured image in your YouTube results. Oh my gosh, I'm so out of it today. Yeah.
That could definitely be worth $70.
Yeah.
Especially if you're monetizing your account.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, is if somebody clicks on that video, it actually just starts playing the video. It doesn't take you to the site. So, but if they click on the title, like if you click on the link there and scroll like maybe like 2 little like swipes on the mouse or a couple finger gestures up or down, you'll see where it says like WordPress CDN solution, Max CDN review, something. Well, if you look on that, you can see that it makes it so that the video thumbnail shows up in the corner, and if you click on it, it'll open it up, and then it'll show the title there. So yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't. I'd have to really look further into this. I know I bought it and used it on one of my clients' websites because of the fact that we just bought like all of their stuff from Yoast and just threw it in there, and I was like, "Ooh, look, it does something different." But I didn't really know what the actual results were from it, or if it was helping them out in any way. I'd imagine it made it so that people would instantly start, watching the video, because you click on it and the video starts playing, which might be good for something like WPwatercooler or something like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I wonder if I even have that on WPwatercooler.
But not if it's just something within
But
Word,
if the whole point of the text, or the whole point of the post is just to go watch the video,
there you go.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, when Google indexes you, they're only reading.
Right.
So they're not. So what are they looking at? They're looking at the description, your keywords.
Yeah, I'm not
unless
using
you
it.
have a transcript.
Right. And that was one of the things that we just did on the most recent episode of Water Coolers. We did that. I was like, I'm going to transcribe this. Let's see what happens. I threw $30 over at rev.com, and I said, okay, Rev, here's a link to the YouTube video. Go do it. They transcribed the video. They updated the closed captioning on the YouTube video. They gave me a file to download, and I just paste it into the WordPress post.
I just remember people saying for accessibility.
Oh yeah.
If you think about how Google indexes your site, that's what a blind person sees when they use a screen reader. Yep. So if your SEO is all optimized, then it's probably accessible. But video,
not so much.
So that's the thing. So if you need a transcript, maybe.
Yes, but here's the thing. You don't need to buy this, buy that. Also, jargon and fancy buzzwords. People like to read and watch. Simply easy to understand content.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It should be more obvious. We like to think there's a writing editor that I just love with all my heart. It's called Hemingway app.
Oh, okay.
And so it'll grade your writing. And people think, oh, I should have 12th grade writing. I went to college. What are newspapers?
4th grade.
Okay, so the reality is if you're 5th, 6th grade, that's all you really need. Because you know what? Here's the other thing. People don't read, they scan.
Right.
So that H1, H2 stacking that Buffer was talking about in their blog post, I'll go find it.
Yeah, I was looking at that one.
That really helps because of the scanning. That's what we do. We scan. And I know there's another Ask WP Blab question from a while back from Adam Thompson. He was looking for plugins that we could recommend for public generated musician band venue wiki pages.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a complicated question.
Well, it's complicated, but you can simplify it a little bit. I'll answer that while you're digging around for that link. So when it comes to doing any type of user generated stuff, you want to be a little careful with it, and you kind of want to pick a solution to collect this information from the people, from the user, from the robots that are trying to hack your website with this thing. Because the second you put any type of form, any type of little box somewhere on your site, there is some type of little robot out there who's trying to hack your site and trying to inject a whole bunch of stuff into it to see if it can break its way in. So with that being said, you want to use a solution that has really good, protections in place for this. And so one of them, the one that I use the most, the one that I think is probably the best for this, is to use Gravity Forms. So if you haven't used Gravity Forms before, what Gravity Forms does is it makes it so that you can collect user-generated content. It could be, a form where they're going to just fill out like a question and answer type thing, or it could be something where they want to submit a post to the website. And so this is kind of what what this person's asking about is how do you collect this information and then make it available on the site. So here's a link to Gravity Forms, so you can go take a look at that and see about that. So with Gravity Forms, what you could do is create a new form, and then with that form, ask it for the title. Ask the person to put in the title of the post. Have them put in like a big box that you can put on there that's going to ask them for the content for the site. You can even ask them all bunch of other little small questions if you want, and then kind of craft this all into a post yourself. If you're collecting stuff like custom fields or something like that, you can do that as well. If you don't want to use that one, there's another one called Formidable, and go check that one out. Chris Lima loves Formidable. He's a huge fan of it. But he just like me, I don't just use something just because I'm comfortable with it. I try all the different things and see which one works best for me and works best for that situation. So try either one of those. They both have the drag and drop type interface where you can just create the form, drag the pieces around, and go from there. But yeah, check that out. That'd probably be the best, your best bet, is to get that information and then do something with it, create blog posts for it or what have you. Now, if you're trying to do something like a job board or a something like that where you're collecting user information, but you want to display it, find a plugin that does exactly that. That way, they've kind of worked out all of the stuff for you. So if it's like, I have a job board, what do you need? I need person's first name and last name if they're applying, or the other way around, it's the position, a description, all those sorts of things to display it. So yeah, find those types of plugins, and there's plenty of sites that you can do searches for to find that information. You can also go and go on Facebook and start looking around for different plugin recommendation groups and ask them, and just look at the reviews and see if they're the right one and the right fit for you. And ask questions. Developers love answering questions about their stuff. If you have a question about like, hey, how do I use this mapping plugin, or how do I use this whatever, and you just send them a message about it, they'll answer your questions, and they want you to become a customer at some point. So
right,
definitely take that into consideration.
He had another question about where he can learn about custom post types.
Where he could learn about custom post types?
Yeah. Huh. I know they talked about it on the WP crowd a few weeks ago.
Well, it depends. If you're of the developer-y type, there's a great website called WP Generator. Yeah, WP Generator. And or Generate WP, that's it. So Generate WP is pretty slick for kind of, is this the right one? No, this is not the right one. WP Generator. Where did it go? I don't see it. Well, oh yeah, nope, that's not it either. Darn, I'll have to find it. I'll find it, put it in the notes here. Yeah, Generate WP. No, that's not, I don't think that's the right one, Jacob. The one I'm looking for is the one where it just gives you some boxes to fill out and generate the custom post types or whatever. Is that the right one? Yeah, that is the right one. Yeah, so if you want to generate a custom post type, then you can, it's so funny. I'm like talking to him as if he's on the video and he's not.
Yeah, but it's more fun for them to watch.
Exactly. Okay, so if you go and click on the link there, it's generatewp.com/post-type. What that does is it asks you a series of questions. You fill out those questions, you hit the generate button, and it'll generate some code. Take that code, throw it into your functions.php file, and then let her rip. So definitely go take a look at that, and it kind of gives you a little bit of an understanding how that part works. You were saying that another podcast was talking about
the WP crowd.
WP crowd was doing it? Yeah,
with Roy Sivan. It's funny, words you only see written. I've never heard him pronounce it. Right. RoyBoy789. On Twitter, he's RoyBoy789.
Ah, okay. It's really weird for me, and this is totally unrelated to the question that's being asked, but I actually don't watch any other WordPress podcasts or listen to any other WordPress podcast on purpose.
Well, I'm behind.
I want to make sure that I'm not copying somebody else's work.
Oh, yeah. I did that for a while.
Yeah, and so it's good and bad, because sometimes you end up accidentally copying somebody else's work, and you're like, oh, I picked the same thing you did this week. So yeah, there's that. But here's the one. It looks like it's CPT 101, episode number 12. Yeah, sorry, dude. I don't watch your podcast. I've watched like the first episode when it came out, and yeah, I just don't watch other podcasts.
My favorite part about the kitchen sink is that it's 15 minutes, not this hour-long epic. Oh, just so fast.
Oh, it's so cute that you think an hour is epic. 2.5 hours of these podcasts are. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to listen to you in like 3 times speed in order to be able to like get through this. It's nuts.
Yeah, I know. My commute is really 30 seconds now. So
like this episode of this podcast, I don't know if you could see it, but it's like 2.5 hours long.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's like longer than Lord of the Rings. Without Mordor, forget it.
Right, exactly.
What
Be like a
what in the
whole week
world could
to
you
get
say
through
for
the
an
podcast. Yeah.
Of course, the last time we had WP Blab, we were on for that long.
That's true. We just kept talking and talking.
It's like when you go to a party and nobody talks to you until you say goodbye.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, you're the most important person that ever showed up at the party. So my strategy is to just start saying goodbye 2 hours before you really want to leave.
Adam, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I let you down.
We got some good questions.
Do we have any other questions? We have 11 people in the room here, and no one's asked a single question. We've had a couple questions.
Well, Iris tweeted hers, and she's here.
Oh, that's good.
So, any questions from our live audience? Now's the time.
Because if not, Bridget needs to go to sleep.
Are you kidding? I'm opening homework windows as I listen. Oh, man, don't do that. We're not going to help you with your quadratic equations.
That sounds awful. I got through algebra. That was about it.
Oh. Oh, that kind of homework. WordPress homework.
Ah. Well, do you have any questions regarding your WordPress homework? I'll be more than happy to help you cheat. Did I get disconnected?
I don't know.
My video stopped, right?
Yeah, you're just frozen because the camera decided that it really liked your image. It was just such a clear, crisp image.
How weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Okay, we may just be closing up shop here. Let's see. Maybe I can get this thing to switch back.
My mom, Bridget, will write a jingle for you. I just have mine. You too can be a guru. That's just, yeah. Does the comments on your WP site increase SEO rankings on search engines? Ooh, that's a good question.
Actually, they do.
They do?
Yep, they sure do. So the reason why is because it's more content. There's more content being generated on the site when people post. Now, the ones that do not, I'm going to unplug my camera here. I actually had to stand up and try to unplug my camera from my computer. The ones that do not do that are, unfortunately, the ones that are that use Facebook to do the comments. Let's see if the camera starts working again here. Discuss, yeah, true. I don't want to refresh the browser because I'll get disconnected. Let me try it real quick. I'll be right back.
Oops. So it's WP Blab with just Bridget. We're waiting for Jason. There he is.
Oh, look, our good friend shows up.
Cam Twist.
Cam Twist shows up.
So for the comments to help with your on-site SEO, they need to be on-site or hosted comments on your site, not a third-party app like Discuss, and all those other beautiful comment.
Yep.
Oh, well, so that's kind of a disadvantage then, isn't it?
Yeah, because the Discuss, if I remember correctly, I know that it has changed in recent years, but Discuss I know goes in imports. Yeah, it's not going to load up. I'm just going to talk.
What about if you click that camera thing?
I did that and it didn't work.
It's mad at you.
Yeah, it's all mad. All right, I will refresh one more time, and then we're going to give up.
Jason is supporting the broadcast. He looks like one of those Facebook profiles.
Okay, there we go.
There you are!
Camera two.
Go, camera two.
I'm going to move the camera down here so I'm not looking up at the sky.
Two.
All right, so to kind of answer that question, so the idea is that you want to make sure that that the plugin is actually displaying the text somewhere on the site. So if you're using Facebook, Facebook is just putting an iframe right on the site and displaying the content on there, or it's using JavaScript or something else, but it's not actual text. So the way to test it is if you go in on your browser, just right click somewhere, like load up the page, right click somewhere on the page. If you're using Chrome, go to view page source. If not, one of the other plugins or one of the other Safari or Internet Explorer, I don't know, whatever it is, Netscape Navigator, using whatever it is from way back in the day.
Netscape Navigator.
Using Opera, you right click on it and push something. But go to view page source and just find like some text that's in that comment that the person left, or write the text real quick. Then just push on the Mac Command F or Control F on the keyboard and do a quick little find for it, and search for that text. More than one word, put like 2 or 3 words together, something that's unique, and then see if it shows up there. If it doesn't show up there, it's being injected into the site, and it's not actually being displayed as HTML on the site, which is going to be indexed by the Googles.
That makes total sense now that you say it.
Yeah.
So the comments being hosted on Discuss or Facebook or Comment Monster or whatever miscellaneous comment plugin. So that's a real disadvantage, because let me just say, comments are like few and far between. If you get a comment on your blog, that's one of the reasons why I like the Jetpack, because then I have WordPress on my phone, and that is one of the only push notifications I have. I got text messages, Slack,
comment. It's so amazing. And
because they're so rare.
Right.
I want to be able to. I want to star that. I want to thank them. I want to send them, fudge for Christmas. like, you're my new best friend. I can't believe you actually put something, some thought into this. Wow. I did not realize that. That is a major disadvantage.
So Troy AppMaker was asking about using. There's a plugin for that Blab. No, there's a plugin that somebody made that works with Blab. We use it on our site, WPwatercooler.com/WPBlab. And if you go take a look at that, it displays, like whatever the live video is. And if you click on one of the posts after the show's over, you'll see it show up. It just instantly goes and posts it. What it does is it goes onto Blab and it starts pulling in all of the comments from the sidebar over here. But then what it does is it turns those into comments on the WordPress site. So if you leave your security number, your phone number, your mother's maiden name, your whatever it is that you post on that comment
first
box
pet,
there,
your first
will show
picture
up as a comment on the site. So it makes it look like a whole bunch of stuff happened, which is good and bad, I guess. I mean, it just, because you look at it like, oh my gosh, these people had like 300 comments on this post, and it's like, kind of. I mean, they were talking to each other.
Yeah, but it makes
not a threaded discussion
for the show note-ish part.
Right, exactly. And I actually go through and look at those that way. But the thing is about that is it's using the WordPress comment system to do this, the native WordPress comment system.
Again,
whenever you're looking for some type of plugin that helps with the WordPress comment system, find one that will use the native comment system and then just kind of adds additional stuff to it. There's a few of them that are out there for, like, if you want to be able to moderate the comments on the front end of the site. There's some plugins that'll do that. If you want to delete the comments or whatever from the front end, there's those types of things too. So, yep.
Listing videos, LA was saying that that she has a message saying you have menu customizer for Canvas activated, but you're not using Canvas theme. But she is.
Oh. I don't know. I've never used
That could
Canvas.
be a weird buggy thing, right? If you try, didn't you, I think it was you that said, always at least have one of the WordPress themes that are from a year.
Yep.
So if you have 2015 installed, quickly change your theme to 2015 after you make a backup. See if it works. If it works, then it's your theme. Your theme is the problem, right?
Yeah.
Is that a common troubleshooting thing?
Exactly. And if you never made any changes to the theme whatsoever, then download a new copy of the theme, FTP it, and upload it back up to the site. And like on top of it, replace it. There's no real good way of doing that. Like in WordPress itself, you can go and like switch to 2013, 2015, whatever, and then delete the theme, install it again. And But there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong with that. If the theme is one of those themes that wants to kind of clean up after itself, you may lose all the customizations that were done within that theme. It just depends on how the theme stores its stuff, and they're all different. There's like your mileage may vary greatly.
Isn't it true that some themes are too feature heavy?
You mean like it wants to like load up a 3D video game or something in the middle of
a slider is one of the things I commonly hear joked about.
This
slider seems to be the new Flash.
Yeah, it comes with 12 sliders and 6 different. Yeah,
I hear that a lot. But I know when I took Say Reed's class at WordCamp LAX about themes, she's like, just get something that's, I mean, I'm nutting it out here, but get us a theme that looks the way you want it to look visually, but do all your functions with plugins. Because then you're kind of spreading the responsibility around. Yeah. Of course, you need to use something that's been updated. If it says it hasn't been updated in 3 years,
don't use it.
That's not cool, man, because that means they're not following the regular updates to core and all of that stuff. And I think that when we as users of WordPress aren't smart about choosing things that are updated, then we're part of the problem with WordPress being marketed as insecure or buggy or something that's going to crash really easy, because we're the ones making those choices. Nobody's choosing that for us.
Right.
It's kind of like a self-policing situation, right? So I'm sure there's some other alternate theme, Iris, that can help you out. But or there's a plugin that will do whatever you thought your theme was so awesome for. I use for my music blog. I have a CD for sale on CD Baby, and so of course they have a plugin that hasn't been updated in 3 years. But it's the only way I could get the widget that would allow people to download and play. Dear CD Baby, update your ding 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 plugin.
Well, so here's the thing though, is
there's only one and it's not updated.
But maybe they never made a change at all to their system because it's a CD company. They make CD. Right. I mean, they do other stuff than CDs. They get you listed in iTunes and all this other stuff.
Right.
But the thing is that the functionality probably hasn't changed at all. And that plugin probably still works just fine. And it most likely does still work just fine. Yeah. But the thing is that the WordPress community has been kind of trained to look at the update to see if update is actually, if it's been updated in the last 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. Once you get into like 5 years in WordPress times, you're just like, oh my goodness, like this thing is not going to work at all. I know it. Yeah. And if the only thing that thing does is makes the background of the dashboard blue instead of white, then it still does its functionality just fine. But when it comes to like something very, very function rich and it uses APIs and all this other fancy stuff, then you could definitely be having, some issues. And you'll see like a little yellow bar that shows up on the repo that says, hey, just want to let you know, this thing hasn't been updated in 10 years. You probably shouldn't be using this plugin. And but the really CD Baby should go in there, make one little change to their plugin, just update the version number and say, yep, everything's fine.
For marketing, if for no other reason. Yeah. So that we feel secure about using it, because all you hear about is not using something that hasn't been updated. I mean, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but that's just reality.
Right.
Because there are a lot of people like me who are newer using things and they're just doing what people tell them. And that was the first advice I was given by Heather Steele. Look for things that are updated with a lot of reviews and a lot of downloads. And it says compatible with your theme.
Right. So that means that they've been tested, that somebody went and tested it, and then they went into the theme and they made a little change to the theme that says, I have tested it to this, to this amount.
That makes you feel more safe.
Like in the chat here, Troy Appmaker saying that he created a plugin a year ago and he hasn't updated it within that year and it works just fine. It's totally true. But the thing is like I was saying, just a moment ago, is that people are trained to look at this stuff. And sometimes popular isn't the thing, because sometimes, people were kind of gaming that popularity thing. So you want to make sure that you're using, the right plugins that have been updated and that they work with, the most recent version of WordPress. So AppMaker, maybe you should go in there and make a couple little changes and just say, yes, I slapped an extra coat of paint on it and that's it. Maybe you should. I don't know. It depends if you're the only game in town and that's the only plugin that's out there that does exactly that, CD baby, then yeah, you're kind of stuck. You have to use it, and you're hoping that it's still secure. It's still using all of the secure, ways of going about doing things, and that the site, that plugin's not going to get hacked. Okay, well, you're a totally different edge case type of thing. If you're if you built a premium theme, you're selling it, what have you. Cool. Yeah.
But think about that happens in the physical world. All of a sudden people flipped out when they redesigned the Coke labels or whatever.
It says my name on it. What am I going to do?
But that's what happens. That they change packaging all the time just to get you to look at something again.
Right. That's
pretty basic marketing stuff.
Well, and that's the thing too, is if I bought a premium thing that hasn't been updated in a little while, not to rag on you or anything, Troy, but if I paid for something that hasn't been updated for a while, I kind of want to know, well, where did that money go? And am I going to be getting a little bit more features out of it? Do I need to give you more money to get more features out of it? That sort of thing. So, the perception for the end user is this thing being updated, and is this something that I should be buying because it has been updated or not? So,
well, especially if you consider the fact that you're kind of hoping for people to renew their license every year, right?
Maybe his model is pay once and get updates for the rest of his life. I don't know.
If there's a license renewal involved, then you'll want people want to feel like they're getting something for their money. This is psychology. This has nothing to do with anybody's code or whether it needs to be changed at all. Or it could be totally awesome and never need anybody looking at it forever. Yeah. It could be the best thing that happened since God created this planet, right? But it's about how people perceive things. It's about the psychology of feeling secure, and that could be a really helpful thing if you're maybe experiencing issues with what they call it, attrition,
right?
Like in the Civil War, and people are just dying left and right, not renewing their license. Maybe that's something that should be thought about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something to think about. Just have it in your brain, just in the back. No judgment. Just some psychology. Because we think about what we did and we know that it's fine. But when you think about marketing, it's about how you're perceived.
Yeah.
So
totally true. I wanted to mention one other thing here. Let me see here if I could find it. I guess not. Maybe I'll have to mention it next week. All right. Oh, well. I was going to mention Chris Lemma's new podcast that he did called Business Track, but I can't remember the link for it. So I remember it's called The Business Track or businesstrack.com or whatever. Let me see if it's businesstrack.com. I don't remember now. Nope, that is definitely not it. Don't go there.
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, businesstracks.co. There you go. Jacob would know.
Jacob is on top of it this week. Extra shout out to Jacob Ariola.
It's Jacob's boss's podcast.
Oh, okay.
He has to know. Yeah, go check that out if you want to learn more about businessy type stuffs. He did the code. Of course he did. So there you have it.
Well, you're not just building things and hoping people find it, right?
Yeah. Bridget, do you think we should put a fork in this?
Website. Yeah, we did a good job. It's an hour and something. Yeah. We had great questions. We had a great audience. It was a good it was a good. I'm happy with how things turned out today, considering the fact that we had a holiday, and I don't think we're gonna have a blab on Christmas Eve, right? So we'll have a couple more, and then it'll be over until January, whatever. Because Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are both on Thursdays this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to ring in the new year with us.
I'd
be flattered if you wanted to.
I'll answer your questions regarding that stuff. Yeah, the thing, water cooler it lands on a Monday, and a lot of holidays happen on a Monday. And I mean, we've done every holiday. We did New Year's one time.
Okay.
Everything happens on Mondays. So
whatever you want to do,
we'll see.
Can roll.
I'm not sure. I probably have stuff going on.
I have no idea what's happening. I'm just throwing it out there because we're in that season where people get booked up for holiday parties and whatnot.
Yup. Alrighty, well, go over to our website at WPwatercooler.com/WPblab and take a look at all the links there. If you are looking for different plugin recommendations, you can go to WPwatercooler.com/recommendations and take a look at that stuff too. We have links for all of the major plugins and stuff that we talk about all the time on both of these shows. And if you don't mind, if you go over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/WPwatercooler, click on the little thumbs up button on this particular video that you're watching right now, because I'd imagine a lot of you are watching this over YouTube, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you, Bridget, for being on again today.
Thank you.
Thank all of you for watching. You guys have a good rest of your night. Bye-bye.
Bye.